The glittering lights of Las Vegas hide many secrets beneath their glow. Today we pull back the curtain on a shocking family drama that no one saw coming. Rick Harrison, the sharp-witted deal-making face of Pawn Stars, is now fighting the battle of his life. Not over a rare artifact or historical treasure, but something far more precious: his family legacy and reputation. Court documents revealed exclusively to our team expose accusations from Rick's adopted daughter that could destroy everything he's built. What happens when the cameras stop rolling and the famous pawnbroker faces his toughest negotiation yet, one where family bonds, not gold, hang in the balance? Stay with me as we uncover the truth behind reality TV's most unexpected family collapse. For over a decade, millions of viewers have welcomed Rick Harrison into their homes through their television screens. The no-nonsense pawn shop owner with an encyclopedic knowledge of history built an empire from a small family business in Las Vegas. Gold and silver pawn shop transformed from a local establishment into a tourist destination, and the centerpiece of a television phenomenon that made the Harrison family household names. Rick's straight-talking charm and business acumen created not just a show but a dynasty worth millions. But behind the calculated deals and family banter that entertained audiences, a very different story was unfolding. According to court documents filed last month, Rick's adopted daughter, whom he had largely kept out of the public eye, has come forward with allegations that paint the reality star in a troubling new light. For privacy reasons, we're not revealing her name, but her testimony has sent shockwaves through both the courtroom and the entertainment industry. The relationship between Rick and his adopted daughter began with promise. After marrying his second wife, Rick embraced her daughter as his own, legally adopting her and, by all public accounts, fully integrating her into the Harrison family. In early interviews, Rick spoke proudly of his blended family, emphasizing that blood ties didn't matter, they were simply the Harrisons. This image of familial unity was a cornerstone of the persona he projected to millions of fans. But according to sworn testimony obtained from the ongoing case, this public image sharply contradicted the private reality his adopted daughter claims she experienced. Taking the stand last week, she described a household where she constantly felt like an outsider, relegated to the edges of family life, while Rick's biological children received the bulk of his attention, affection, and financial support. "I tried everything to earn his love," reads one particularly emotional passage from her testimony. "But I always knew I wasn't a real Harrison." The courtroom fell silent as she detailed specific instances of alleged neglect. While Rick's biological sons were being groomed to continue the family business and appear on the show, she claimed she was deliberately kept in the background. According to her testimony, when she expressed interest in learning the pawn business, she was discouraged and told to find her own path, language she interpreted as being pushed away from the family enterprise. "It became clear that the Harrison legacy was not meant for me," she stated before the judge. Financial disparities form another cornerstone of her legal complaint. While Rick's net worth soared with the success of Pawn Stars, reportedly reaching over $8 million, his adopted daughter alleges that she struggled to secure funding for her education. Court documents reveal that while substantial trusts were established for his biological children, her requests for similar support were repeatedly denied or minimized. These financial decisions, her legal team argues, reflect a pattern of emotional favoritism that caused lasting psychological damage. Perhaps most damaging to Rick's public image are the allegations concerning his behavior during major family events. According to testimony, when cameras weren't rolling, Rick would often distance himself from his adopted daughter at family gatherings, focusing his attention on business associates or his biological children. Her 18th birthday, she tearfully recounted, went uncelebrated by Rick, who was reportedly attending a convention related to the show, despite having rearranged his schedule for similar milestones for his sons. Rick's legal team has forcefully contested these allegations, presenting a radically different interpretation of events. According to documents filed by his attorneys, Rick provided his adopted daughter with every possible advantage, including private schooling, regular allowances, and inclusion in family vacations. They've introduced photographs showing Rick attending her high school graduation and other significant events, attempting to counter the narrative of neglect. The defense has also questioned the timing of these allegations, noting that they emerged shortly after a disagreement regarding a trust fund that Rick had established, which included specific behavioral conditions the daughter reportedly failed to meet. This case isn't about emotional neglect, argued Rick's attorney in opening statements. It's about financial expectations that weren't fulfilled, because certain reasonable conditions weren't met. Former gold and silver pawn shop employees have been called as witnesses by both sides, offering conflicting accounts of Rick's relationship with his adopted daughter. One former manager testified that Rick often spoke proudly of all his children, including his adopted daughter, frequently showing staff photos of her achievements. However, another employee countered that Rick rarely mentioned her when discussing family matters at work, focusing conversations primarily on his sons and their future roles in the business. The trial has revealed the complex dynamics of blended families living under intense public scrutiny. Psychologists called as expert witnesses have testified to the unique challenges faced by adopted children in high-profile families, where the pressure to belong can be intensified by public perception. There's often a gap between the family image projected to the public and the emotional reality experienced by family members, explained Dr. Rebecca Thornhill, a family psychologist who testified for the plaintiff. This gap can be particularly painful for adopted children already grappling with identity issues. As the trial enters its second week, the courtroom has become a stage for a different kind of reality show, one where carefully crafted public images are being dismantled, and the messy truth of family dynamics laid bare. The judge has heard testimony from Rick's ex-wife, who has largely supported her daughter's claims, while acknowledging that Rick did provide material support. He gave her things, she testified, but never gave her what she needed most, the feeling that she truly belonged. The case has sparked intense debate on social media, with fans of Pawn Stars divided in their reactions. Many longtime viewers have expressed shock and disappointment, while others defend Rick, suggesting that the allegations might be motivated by financial gain. The History Channel, home to Pawn Stars for 15 seasons, has released a brief statement indicating they are monitoring the situation closely, but declining further comment on what they describe as a private family matter. Industry analysts note that regardless of the legal outcome, the reputational damage to Rick Harrison could be substantial. Reality TV personalities sell an authentic version of themselves to viewers, explains media analyst Jared Moskowitz. When that authenticity is called into question, especially regarding something as fundamental as how someone treats their children, it can permanently alter public perception. For Rick, the stakes extend beyond his public image. Court documents reveal that his adopted daughter is seeking not only financial compensation, but also a public acknowledgement of the emotional harm she alleges he caused. Her legal team has suggested that a heartfelt public apology, coupled with a commitment to family counseling, could form part of a potential settlement. As of today, settlement talks appear to have stalled, with both sides preparing for continued court proceedings. Sources close to Rick indicate he remains adamant about clearing his name, believing the allegations misrepresent his actions and intentions as a father. Meanwhile, his adopted daughter's representatives state she is committed to having her truth acknowledged, after years of feeling silenced. The case raises profound questions about celebrity, family, and the nature of parental responsibility. When does providing material support fall short of true parenting? Can financial provision substitute for emotional presence? And how do we reconcile public personas with private realities? As one juror was overheard saying during a recess, nobody looks good when family laundry gets aired in public. Legal experts predict the trial could continue for several more weeks, with additional witnesses still to be called. Whatever the verdict, the damage to the Harrison family appears irreparable. Former family friends describe holiday gatherings and celebrations where all the children once appeared happy together, a stark contrast to the fractured family now avoiding eye contact across a courtroom. Perhaps the most telling moment of the trial came during cross-examination, when Rick's adopted daughter was asked why she had waited years to come forward with her allegations. Her response silenced the courtroom, "Because I kept hoping things would change. I kept hoping that one day, I'd feel like a real Harrison, until finally, I realized that acceptance would never come, and I needed to make peace with that on my own terms." As we continue to follow this developing story, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Behind the confident, knowledgeable persona that millions of viewers have come to know, Rick Harrison faces his greatest challenge not as a businessman, but as a father. And unlike the artifacts that pass through his pawnshop, family relationships, once broken, can be the hardest things of all to restore to their original value. The Harrison family's public unraveling serves as a powerful reminder that reality television only shows us what producers want us to see. The true reality, complex, messy, and often painful, plays out when the cameras stop rolling. For Rick Harrison, a man who built his reputation assessing the value of rare objects, the true worth of family bonds may be a lesson learned too late. We'll continue to bring you developments in this case as they unfold. For now, from everyone here at our channel, remember, in life as in pawnbroking, the things of greatest value aren't always the ones with the highest price tag. Sometimes the most precious treasures are the relationships we nurture every day. Like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated on this developing story and more exclusive content. This has been an in-depth look at the Harrison family saga, where reality has proven stranger and more heartbreaking than any television script could ever be.